PM Modi Thursday accused Congress of including Muslims as a whole in OBC list in Karnataka through backdoor and promoting reservation on religious lines in violation of constitution. He said when the constitution was drafted, it was decided there would not be religion-based reservation. Congress' decision to declare all Muslims in Karnataka as backward on a par with OBCs was inimical to the interest of backward classes, PM said at a poll rally in MP's Morena. Baba Sahib Ambedkar was the architect of the constitution, was against reservation on religious lines, but Congress stabbed him in the back. Reservation to Muslims was unlawful, Modi said. Countering him, Karnataka CM Siddharamaiah wrote on X, "It is true that in Karnataka, Muslims are included in 2B category for backward classes. This is not something done now. This reservation has been in place for 30 years and on the basis of reports of Backward Class Commission." Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Thursday launched a scathing attack on Odisha CM Naveen Patnaik's governance, describing his uninterrupted tenure since 2000 as the lost years. Addressing an election rally in Sonpur, Shah urged people to out Naveen's BJD government and help from the state's first BJP government for accelerated development. Some people are studying the development of all states in the country. They had come to me. While asking about the country, I asked them about the situation in Odisha. They said the 20 ODS of Naveen Babu's government are lost years in the state's history. Odisha remains at the same place where it was 20 years ago, Shah said. Shah's wife said Naveen marks the first instance of top BJP politician openly criticizing the PM following the breakdown of alliance talks between the two parties. Soaring prices of tomatoes and onions may have made headlines in 23-24, but other veggies such as garlic, ginger recorded triple-digit inflation, while brinjal, parval and beans also saw a sharp spike. Garlic and ginger, for instance, show inflation of 117% and 110% respectively. Parval rose 13%, brinjal 13% and beans 10%, witnessed double-digit inflation according to a report by rating agency CRISIL. Vegetables were responsible for about 30% of food inflation in fiscal 24, much higher than their 15% share of the food index. This March, vegetable inflation was 28%, down from 30% in February, but way off to the 8% deflation seen a year earlier. Fiscal 24 saw huge volatility from a low of 7% in May 23 to a high of 37% in July 23, says the report. South US universities called in police to break up demonstrations against the Israel-Hamas war, including in ugly scuffles and dozens of arrests, and the final days of the semester tick down and graduated ceremonies loom. At Emerson College in Boston, 108 people were arrested at an alleyway encampment overnight and 4 police officers suffered injuries that were not life-threatening. Boston police said video of the scuffle shows students in the alleyway linking arms and using umbrellas to resist officers who move forcefully through the crowd and throw some protesters to the ground. Emerson cancelled classes on Thursday. Another 93 people were arrested on Wednesday night during a protest at the University of Southern California. The Los Angeles Police Department said one person was arrested on allegations of assault with a deadly weapon. Although police officials did not immediately provide details about the incident, at USC tensions were already high after the university cancelled a planned commencement speech by the school's pro-Palestinian valedictorian, citing safety concerns. Beyond the police line, onlookers watched as helicopters buzzed overhead. The police closed the campus. While grappling with growing protests from coast to coast, schools have the added pressure of May commencement ceremonies. At Columbia University in New York, students defiantly erected an encampment where many are set to graduate in front of families in just a few weeks. Columbia continued to negotiate with students after several failed attempts to clear the encampment. On a visit to campus on Wednesday, U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson, a Republican, called on the university press to resign if she cannot bring order to the chaos. The US Supreme Court's conservative majority seemed poised on Thursday to narrow the scope of the criminal case against former President Donald Trump on charges that he plotted to subvert the 2020 elections. Such a ruling, endorsing at least part of Trump's argument that he is immune from prosecution, would most likely send the cause back to the trial court to draw distinctions between official and private conduct. Those proceedings could make it hard to conduct the trial before 24 elections. D. Jones, Trump's lawyer, pressed an extreme version of the former president's argument. In answer to hypothetical questions, he said that presidential orders to murder political rivals or stage a coup could well be subject to immunity. But several of the conservative justices seemed disinclined to consider those questions or the details of the accusations against Trump. Instead, they said that the court should issue a ruling that applies to presidential power generally. We were writing a rule of the ages, this said the court should think about the use implications for the presidency, for the future of the presidency, for the future of the country. Russian President Putin said Thursday he plans to visit China in May, his first planned trip abroad since re-election, as Moscow seeks deeper ties with Beijing. The West has viewed Russia and China with increased anxiety over the past 2 years as they boost military cooperation and seeks to expand their global influence. A visit in May is planned, Putin said at a business forum on Moscow, without providing further detail. The Russian head of state has last visited China in October 23 days after Russia launched its military assault on Ukraine 22. Beijing and Moscow declared a no-limits partnership. Putin's announcement came shortly after US Secretary of State Antony Blinken landed in Beijing. When you approach Maulana Azad Road from the busy Janpat, you see the sprawling Vigyan Bhavan and its annex plus a third bungalow. 6 Maulana Azad Road is not just another Lutyens Delhi's edifice. It was the official residence of the Vice President of India for 62 years, from 62 to 24, till incumbent Jagdeep Dhankar moved into the newly created Vice Presidential complex near North Block last Wednesday. The road on which the old colonnaded building was located was earlier called King Edward Road. India's first education minister, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, lived in bungalow number 4 on the road, and after his death the road itself was named after him. Azad's ministerial residence was razed down to build the country's first conference complex, Vigyan Bhavan, and its neighbor was the Vice President's residence. Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan was the first Vice President to be allotted 6 Maulana Azad Road in 62 and was followed by the galaxy of Dr. Zakir Hussain, Vivigiri, Gopal Swarup Pathak, Bapa Danappa Jati, Mohammad Dishandis, Bhairo Singh Shekhawat, Muhammad Hamid Ansari and M. Venkaiah Naidu, several of whom went to assume the top post of president. Kant was the only resident to die in the office on July 27, 2002. According to Madan Thapliyal, the former director, New Delhi Municipal Council, almost all the bungalows in Lutyens, Delhi were built before the new capital of British India was inaugurated on February 13, 1931. The white-walled residence set among grassy lawns were designed by architect Robert O. Russell under the watchful eyes of Edward Lutyens, the chief architect of New Delhi. Russell, who designed Connaught Place, Teen Murti Bhavan and Western and Eastern Court at 6 Maulana Azad Road, or 4 King Edward Road as it was known around 90 years ago when the house was built, Tor provided garden space, trees, and today it has, among other species, pomegranate, which not many bungalows in the area have. People say that hundreds of parrots live there because they prefer jamun and pomegranate trees for their nest. Delhi Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saksena's Kerala visit has kicked up a storm ahead of the Lok Sabha elections, with the opposition criticizing his meeting with church leaders. Church sources have said the visit was not political, and the LG's office has described the allegations of a political motive as baseless and out of any substance. But the state voting in the Lok Sabha elections on Friday, the opposition has only sharpened its attack on Saxena. Leader of opposition in the Kerala Assembly, V.D. Sathesan, on Thursday approached Election Commission of India accusing Saxena of violating the Model Code of Conduct. As you are aware, the governor in the constitutional head governor is the constitutional head of state and is restricted from involving in any political activity. However, the Delhi Lieutenant Governor visiting various church heads in Kerala just ahead of the Lok Sabha elections to garner votes for BJP is a blot on democracy and its founding values, said Sathesan in his complaint. I therefore request you good self to initiate urgent action on the blatant violation of the Model Code of Conduct by VK Saxena. Saxena had met the head of Syro Malabar Church, Major Archbishop, this and this. The meeting with Delhi LG was friendly one. We accepted his request to meet the Major Bishop as the courtesy. There was no political element. He also did not talk any politics. He said the church has not taken a political stand and their only stand was that everyone should vote. क्या बना? A 2-day placement cum internship job fair was concluded in Delhi University on Thursday. The job fair was organized by the Central Placement Cell of the university. This year, more than 3,000 students have enrolled for the fair. As per the placement cell, the university expects to place a huge number of students this year. According to DU, around 27 companies participated in the placement exercise. Of 3,000 registered students who registered, around 1,000 were shortlisted by the companies on Thursday. The placement cell claimed. The job mela was a resounding success. We witnessed a huge participation of students from across disciplines and colleges of the university, claimed Professor Hina Singh of the placement cell. More than 3,000 students participated with around 27 companies offering various placement and internship opportunities. We are confident that our students will be offered good packages and we hope that this trend continues in the future melas and recruitment drives too as well. She added, unlike every year, the university this year decided to put a bar on the registration to streamline the placement process. We will know the exact packages offered by the placement and how many students actually got placed only in the coming days after the entire process is over, she said. Jasleen Kaur, 21, a BSc Mathematics student who was at the job fair, said, it is great that the university takes the initiative to organize job fairs like this. At least that way there is some way for the students to find employment. Another student, Shubham Kumar, a BSc student, added that the job fair gave students some opportunities and that there should be more of the fairs. Some students wished for companies had participated in job fair with more specific job opportunities. The placement manager of Backbenchers and education technology startup who was at the fair said, we have been coming to job fair for the last several years. This year the placement mela is much better. She added, we have received good applications with this year at the fair. The applications seem to be more confident. The applicant seems to be more confident. National Investigation Agency has arrested a key accused involved in the last year's violent attack on Indian High Commission in London. The suspect, identified as Indrapal Singh Gaba, a resident of Hounslow in the United Kingdom, was arrested upon arrival in Delhi on the basis of a lookout circular issued against him earlier. The development is significant, given the agency in a first has arrested a British resident for a crime that happened under the UK's jurisdiction, while the move affirms the growing coordination between law enforcement agencies of both the countries. It is also being considered a major deterrent that will ensure there is no repeat of such breach of security, disrespect of the Indian flag or any threat to Indian interest abroad, said a senior officer. NIA's investigation in the case so far has revealed that the incidents in London on March 19 and 22-23 were parts of a larger conspiracy that unleashed vicious attacks on Indian High Commissions and its officials. The attacks were found to be retaliated in the action taken by Punjab Police against pro-Khalistan separatist Amritpal Singh, who was arrested in March last year. Government has taken strong objection to the developments and summoned the senior-most diplomat of UK High Commission in London and demanded an explanation on the absence of security. The High Commission was attacked by a group of 50 persons who committed criminal trespass, disrespected the Indian flag, damaged public property and caused injuries to officials at High Commission. The attack was allegedly organized by Gurcharan Singh Dal Khalsa UK, Avatar Singh Khanda of KLF, Jasveer Singh and their associates, both Indian and foreign nationals who were identified during the probe. Prime Minister Modi has accepted the invitation of the Italian counterpart Giorgia Meloni to attend the G7 summit outreach sessions to be held in June in Puglia, Italy. PM Modi thanked Meloni for the invite then when he called to greet here on Italy's Liberation Day, according to the government. The invitation midway through Lok Sabha elections is seen to be in line with the assessment in foreign capitals about Modi being the favourite for the contest. During the conversation, the two leaders reaffirmed their commitment to further strengthening the strategic partnership and exchange views on regional and global issues of mutual interest. The two PMs also discussed carrying forward the outcomes of India's G20 presidency, especially support for Global South, to the G7 summit under Italy's presidency. G7 summit will take place on June 13 after the results of Indian elections earlier in the day. The Ministry of External Affairs said a G7 invite had been received and the matter was under consideration. A day after Mamata Banerjee called Calcutta High Court a Mahatirth for BJP while stressing that High Court could have given some other advice in the Cash for Jobs case instead of scrapping the appointment of 25,000 people by SSC. The court on Thursday admitted a petition against West Bengal Chief Minister for making accusations against the judiciary every day. The petition was admitted a day when Mamata's nephew Abhishek alleged that a section of Calcutta High Court was in a nexus with BJP and is delivering verdicts based on BJP's instructions. At a poll meeting in Puralia, Abhishek spoke about Calcutta High Court's Monday verdict scrapping the SSC's appointments. Those who are involved in match fixing predict how bowling or batting would be done, and that is what exactly happened. We know about betting, but it has taken to another level by a section of Calcutta High Court. BJP is betting and they are being backed by some of the judges, Abhishek said. Moving the petition against Mamata in High Court, CPM Neta and Senior Counsel Vikas Bhattacharya submitted newspaper clippings and a pen drive capturing Mamata's speech in support of his claim. He asked the court to take suo motu cognizance for the matter. At a rally in East this, Mamata had said they cannot give jobs but have taken away 26,000 jobs. BJP functionaries moved court demanding these teachers' jobs be taken away. A BJP PIL is accepted by the moment they file it, but the court's doors are closed for others. I have never seen a situation like this. National Commission for Backward Classes Chairperson Hansraj Ahir has summoned Karnataka's Chief Secretary to explain the basis on which the entire Muslim community was included in the OBC category in the state, even as BJP sharpened its charge of Muslim appeasement against Congress. While PM Modi accused Congress of trying to snatch the reservation rights of OBCs and give it to their vote banks, Uttar Pradesh CM Yogi Adityanath said it was very unfortunate and an attempt at Islamization of India. This is part of despicable attempts of Islamization of India and pushing it to the war divisions. When the UPA government came to power, it made such attempts that at that time too. BJP had carried out a massive agitation. So be it. Justice Verma committee's report or the Sachar committee report, they will all attempts by Congress to loot the reservation of OBCs, SCs and STs, Adityanath said. JMM on Thursday named former CM Hemant Soren's wife Kalpana Murmu Soren as its candidate for the bypoll of the assembly seat under Girid Lok Sabha constituency, which will vote on May 20. Kalpana, who will be facing BJP's Dilip Kumar Verma, is expected to file nomination on April 29. JMM also picked its MLA Sameer Kumar Mohanty as candidate for Jamshedpur Lok Sabha seat that goes to polls on May 25. Mohanty will be pitted against BJP's Vidyut Baran Mahato, who is seeking a third consecutive term from the seat. JMM spokesperson Manoj Kumar Pandey claimed the two party candidates would register a landslide victory. Kalpana entered politics in March after ED arrested her husband in a land scam case. She attended the India Bloc's rally in New Delhi in solidarity with jailed CM Arvind Kejriwal and his rally to remark the conclusion of Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra in Mumbai. She also spearheaded the India Bloc's Ulgun Nyay rally in Ranchi on April 21. India Bloc had already announced its candidate for 13 other Lok Sabha seats in the state earlier. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge had told PM Modi that his attempt to insert Hindu-Muslim debate into the election campaign is a ploy to divert focus from Congress stress on their rich-poor inequality created by their suit-boot Sarkar. He urged Modi to not divide the nation like your pre-independence allies, the Muslim League and colonial masters. Amid Congress protests that Modi is lying about the AICC manifesto advocating wealth distribution and inheritance tax and his indignation that the PM's communal pitch. Kharge Thursday shot off a letter to BJP Muscat to convey that the party outrage. Kharge has also sought a meeting with Modi to explain to him the provisions of the Nyaya Patra because the PM is being misinformed by the advisors into making false statements, adding that Congress manifesto talks about the people of India whether they are Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, Jain or Buddhist. Taking umbrage at Modi's speeches, Kharge said, "It has become a habit for you to seize on a few words taken out of the context and create a communal divide. You are lowering the dignity of a chair by speaking in this manner. When all this is over, people will remember that the PM of the country used such vulgar language for fear of losing an election." Anticipating that Congress might field Priyanka Gandhi in Raebareli, BJP offered her cousin Varun Gandhi the seat, but he turned it down. Sources close to Varun claimed. Sources said the offer was made to him about 10 days ago by BJP leadership. However, he declined to be part of Gandhi versus Gandhi clash as he has a good equation with his cousins even though they represent rival parties. Sources said Varun, a third-term MP from Pilibhat, was not given a ticket from the seat this time. As per BJP sources, with Priyanka likely to contest her first election from Raebareli, the seat looked tough and the party felt the need for a formidable opposition from its side. Sources said BJP's internal surveys on likely candidates like Dinesh Singh, Brajesh Pathak and Vinay Katiyar were not promising. That is when it asked Varun to take up the challenge. Sources close to Varun said he will not contest 24 polls. An Indian Air Force reconnaissance UAV out on a routine training sortie crashed into a field in Khudi in Rajasthan's Jaisalmer on Thursday. No loss of life or property was reported, IAF said. The Israeli origin Heron remotely piloted aircraft took off from Vayu Sainik Airport and crashed 30 km away from Bojonio ki Dhani area, catching fire. Villagers and polling parties doused the fire. IAF has ordered a court of inquiry into the crash but added that a technical fault is likely a reason. Expressing alarm at a 3-year delay in conducting the 21 decadal census, Congress on Thursday alleged Modi government of wanting to scrap SC/ST reservations and said that intent behind the unprecedented postponement in holding the national headcount. Congress also accused PM Modi of lying, saying inheritance tax is not of the party agenda and it was Rajiv Gandhi who ended the set tax in 85, while BJP netas led by Arun Jaitley and Jayant Sinha had advocated it in Modi government. Speaking to reporters, AICC spokesperson Jairam Ramesh said PM Modi's policies of Asatyamev Jayate, which is making him speaking lies about Congress, is in his election speeches. As they say, cricket is a great leveler. When you think that you are on the top of your game, it quickly brings you down. Sunrisers Hyderabad, who were in ramping form with 4 back-to-back wins and who had racked up totals over 250 for fun, suffered a 35-run loss to bottom-placed Royal Challengers Bengaluru at the Rajiv Gandhi International Cricket Stadium here on Thursday. The last time these two teams met, Sunrisers had posted IPL's record total of 287. RCB had their revenge on a searing hot day. The trend this season for the Sunrisers has been a seal the fate of the match in power play, with openers Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma providing blistering starts. Not here on Thursday as they collapsed, losing 4 wickets for 62, chasing down a par total of 206. The host ended up with 171 in 20 overs for the Faf du Plessis led side. It was their second win and their first after 6 straight losses. Sunrisers has a horrible start, losing head in the first over to Will Jacks. Abhishek hit Jacks for 20 runs to get going, but Yash Dayal dismissed the left-hander for 31 in the fourth over. Spinner Swapnil Singh struck vital blows, dismissing both Eden Markham and Henrik Larsson in the fifth over of the derail the chase. When Karan Sharma bowled Nitish Kumar Reddy in the 8th over and dismissed Abdul Samad in the 10th, the writing was on the wall. Earlier, Virat Kohli and Rajat Patidar starred for RCB, with Kohli opting to play the anchor. The run rate dipped, but Patidar hit Markande for 4 consecutive sixes in the 11th over and scored 50 of the 65 runs he added with Kohli. Neil Krishna, a farmer's son from Maharashtra's Vidarbha, achieved perfection not once but twice, securing the coveted All India Rank 1 in JEE Mains exam on Thursday after an impossible 100 percentile in his first JEE attempt in February. A native of Belkhed village in Washim, 20 km from Nagpur, the 18-year-old overcame financial hardship to top one of the toughest competitive exams. I was confident, but I did not think I would top the charts and secure AIR 1. Now I will focus on JEE Advanced, said Neil Krishna. Continuing his attack on Congress over the inheritance tax issue, PM Modi Thursday said, after acquiring massive wealth over 4 generations without paying any taxes, these people want to tax the inheritance of the children of the hard-working common man like you and loot half your assets. इसीलिए ये देश कह रहा है कि Congress this and this. Addressing a rally at the police grounds in Morena, the PM said that for BJP nothing is greater than the country, whereas for Congress the family is everything. Congress policy is that whoever makes the greatest contribution and works the hardest and with total dedication of the country should be kept at the very end, he said. Modi appealed for votes for BJP candidates Shiv Mangal Singh Tomar from Morena, Sandhya Rai from Bhind and Bharat Singh Kushwaha from Gwalior. These 3 seats along with 4 other constituencies go to polls in the third phase on May 7. In Morena, Bhind and all of the Chambal over villages, every village has men and women in army and security forces. Modi said 4 years the one rank one pension demand of soldiers was not met. After we formed government, we implemented one rank one pension and thought of the benefit of soldiers guarding the country. We united the hands of Jawans whose arms has been tied by Congress. We gave them open exemption and said that if 1 bullet is fired, then answer with 10 bullets. If 1 bomb is thrown at us, then 10 cannons should be fired at them. These days, Congress Shahzada is having fun humiliating Modi. From what I am seeing on social media and television, people are concerned about such language being used against the PM. He said with folded hands. Modi added, my request to everyone is to kindly not be sad or angry. You know that they are Namdar while I am Kamdar. And the Namdar have always abused the Kamdar for centuries. If I get 5 or 50 abuses, let it be. You don't get angry. Don't say anything to the Namdar because we Kamdar have been born to withstand it. Oh wow, kya naam hai. The US Annual Human Rights Assessment released earlier this week alleged extrajudicial killings, rights abuses in Manipur last year, and attacks on minorities, journalists, and dissenting voices in the rest of the country. Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal said the report is deeply biased and reflects a poor understanding of India. We attach no value to it and urge you to do the same. The report released by Secretary of State Antony Blinken also alleged that Indian government took minimal credible steps or actions to identifying and punish officials who may give committed human rights abuses. Asked about protests at universities in the US, Jaiswal said government is getting reports on the matter and following related events. On the issue of human rights, the State Department document has noted reports that government or its agents committed arbitrary or unlawful killings, including extrajudicial killings. The report also talks about alleged transnational repression by Indian authorities and mentions Canada's allegations about the involvement of Indian agent in the murder of pro-Khalistan separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. On the probe into US allegations about the role of an Indian official in the foiled murder attempt on another pro-Khalistan separatist, the Indian official recalled that government has formed a high-level committee to look into the information shared by Washington because it concerns India's security too, and said the committee is still looking into it. Supreme Court will deliver its verdict on Friday on petition seeking 100% matching of votes cast on EVMs with VVPATs. A bench of Justices Sanjeev Khanna and Dipender Datta is to pass the order. The Supreme Court website says there will be two separate judgments penned by the two judges. The petitioners have backed their demand by raising suspicion over the probability of hacking and manipulation of machines and sought that 100% matching of EVMs counts and VVPATs will help allay all doubts. During the previous hearing on April 18, the bench had said that it would intervene if there was any possibility to improve the present system of voting and counting, but made it clear that it cannot pass orders pertaining to EVMs only on the basis of suspicion of their hacking and manipulation. The bench had virtually ruled out a turn of the ballot paper, saying there was a huge drawback with the system and the use of EVMs has stood the test of time with increasing voting percentage reflecting people's faith in it. Lodging a single-day procurement record, government agencies on Wednesday sought 11 lakh tons of wheat only in Punjab. So far, wheat procurement across states has been around 170 lakh tons and is set to touch peak it's by the month-end, report said. Officials said after a delayed arrival, the quantity of wheat reaching mandis in Punjab saw a surge in the last 1 week. Around 68 lakh tons of wheat has been purchased by agencies in the state so far for the central pool, which is managed by FCI. Neil Krishna, who secured the All India rank in JEE Mains exam Thursday, said studying computer science at IIT Bombay was his dream. The 18-year-old prepared for the exam at a coaching institute in Nagpur with a 75% scholarship, maintaining a balance between studies and personal well-being. Neil Krishna said he exercises and meditates in his free time and stays away from social media. I only had WhatsApp to communicate with teachers. I would wake up at 5 am and hit the bed by 10 pm. Apart from attending tuitions classes, I would study for 7 hours, he said. Supporting him every step to the way his father Neil Kumar Gajre, who had to drop out class 12 despite relying on farming for a livelihood. Neil Kumar ensured Neil Krishna had access to education, even mobilizing extra funds from his son's accommodations in Nagpur. In our younger days, achieving our aspirations was impossible. Farming is my livelihood and I barely earn rupees 1.5 lakh to rupees 2 lakh annually. This income supports my family to 6. We have had to stretch our resources to ensure his education, Neil Kumar said. The result of candidates who is among the 33 who secured 100 percentile score in JEE Main 24 session has caused an uproar on social media, as he scored 7.4 percentile in the January session of the test. The candidate said he was unwell during the January exam and he did not cheat. I was running a high temperature and fainted during the exam. I could not write well, he said. Meanwhile, NTA sources said the agency is analyzing the result of the candidate. Israel is preparing to launch an assault on Rafah in southern Gaza despite objections from the international community and reservations for its closest ally US. Impact of the conflict on regional dynamics remains intense and worrying. We recently had Israel and Iran engaging in tit-for-tat drone and missile strikes. Tehran's proxies in the region too have kept up pressure on Tel Aviv and its allies. Although Israel and Iran have seemed to be downplaying their mutual attacks, the fact that they are directly targeting each other represents a paradigm shift. The attacks indicates the whole region's descent into a fantastic cycle of violence. Everyone is aware that a potential Israel-Iran conflict might start a regional war. In fact, the questions of whether the disputes will be limited to the regional levels is debatable. We can already conclude that West Asia's tensions have outweighed the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Split in Muslim world. Islamic countries in the region are deeply concerned about Israel's military actions in Gaza and the signaled IDF operations in Rafah. But while there is a growing general resentment towards Netanyahu's Israel, when it comes to Israel-Iran equations, Arab countries prefer to remain mute. Jordan is even publicly backing the US-UK-Israel triangle. Therefore, it is possible that a regional war Arab countries may attempt to remain neutral. However, there is also a real risk that their neutrality will lead to unforeseen repercussions. Critical 4. A look at a critical group of countries in the region reveals complex equations. This group includes Turkey, Azerbaijan, Syria and Iraq. Turkey neighbors Iran and has a substantial military presence in Syria. It is attempting to enhance its relations with Iraq, while maintaining carefully regulated ties with Iran. It openly criticizes Israel and is becoming more critical by the day. Turkish president has shown sympathy and support for the terrorist organization Hamas. However, Turkey is also a NATO member. We also know that the NATO radar station in Turkey activated its early warning system in reaction to the Iranian missile attacks against Israel and provided the data to US and UK. Thus, Turkey is in a foreign policy deadlock. When it comes to Syria, since the civil war in that country, Iran has developed significant military presence there via militias. Relations between Damascus and Tehran can be seen through the lens of strategic collaboration, but Israel views Iran's position in Syria as a threat, which is why Israel has been regularly launching attacks on Iranian infra in Syria. Despite US military presence in Iraq, Iran continues to have significant influence of its own in the Iraqi settings. It even maintains organic links with Kurdish groups in the country's northeast. We have occasionally seen Iran and Israel strikes on each other's infra in the Iraqi theater. All eyes in West Asia, particularly Netanyahu's, are on the US election outcome. The Israeli PM has hitched his personal political career to the continuance of his violent policy in Palestine and the general area. He believes that if Trump is elected, he will be able to continue such tactics more easily. It is unclear whether US soldiers in Iraq and Syria will be withdrawn if Trump becomes president. But if US forces are evacuated, Israel may adopt a more forceful strategy to enhance its security. So again, could Israel-Iran tensions escalate into a major regional confrontation? In this writer's opinion, even if Israel and Iran continue to test each other, these developments are unlikely to escalate to a hot war. This is because the regional confrontation would in turn escalate to a global war. This will compel non-regional forces US, UK, Russia and China with influence on Israel and Iran to keep things at a level of a controlled crisis. At least that's the hope.